Let me see what you've got.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Warrior93 here, and here's a new type of video, but I really want to do this little type of video. And since not many Dragon Ball fans know, especially if you're too young to remember, like me, or were not born yet during the original run of Dragon Ball Z in the States, so I wanted to do this little video for you. Anyways, I'll stop beating around the bush and get this video started. Alright, so back in 1995, when Funimation was starting as a company, the CEO, Gen Fukunaga, who still owns Funimation, wanted to get some action shows to dub them for the States. With some connections from an uncle who at the time worked for Toei, he has gotten connection with Toei and acquired Dragon Ball Z. Not the original Dragon Ball, unfortunately, but it did start with Z. Funimation didn't have an in-house studio at the time, so they outsourced the production of Dragon Ball Z to a small group, BLT Studios, for the first 13 episodes of the series, which did not have the current voice actors such as Sean Schemmel or Chris Sabat as Goku and Vegeta, but it did feature some other actors. But then in 1996, it was then passed on to Saban Entertainment, or what we now know as the Ocean Group, which still features some of the same voice actors, but there were some little differences, such as Goku. Then they moved on to dub the first 67 episodes of the series, but since they were putting on a kids channel, the Cartoon Network, they had to censor a lot of the episodes, which shortened it down to 53 episodes. An interesting fact that they couldn't translate from the Japanese script, but from the Latino version. So it was very apparent things got lost in translation when you're dubbing over a dub. This dub did not feature the original Japanese score, and this music of the version was produced from Shuki Levi. The reason the music was changed was that Funimation could receive full profit, so they wouldn't have to pay licensing dues. Contrary to popular belief by what I like to call the purists or stupid extremists of the community, since they like to say, oh, they like to just disrespect it, but since at the time Funimation still needed as much profit as they could get. Moving on from that, Dragon Ball Z was abruptly cancelled from its run on Toonami on the episode Goku Super Saiyan, which aired in 1998. To finish off the Ocean dub, it was resumed back in 2000, which featured many of the same voice actors, with again slight changes to casting. I'm not sure from this point on, but as I've only watched a few clips from that point, but I know that they finished off the rest of the series to the end of the 28th Tenkaichi Budokai tournament with U. They still made changes to the scripting, of course, and one thing I found interesting in the Fusion Saga, instead of having voices like the original Japanese and Funimation in-house English version did with two voices at once, they decided to use one singular voice and have an actor who can sound as if both of the characters' voices were fused as well.
Call me Super Vegito.
I saw particularly interesting. It's not really a con for it, but I kind of found it interesting as it was different. Moving on to the Funimation in-house dub, they resumed right where the Ocean Group left off with voice actors. We know today with Sean Schemmel as Goku and King Kai, and Christopher Sabat as Vegeta and Piccolo and such. Originally they were trying to mimic the old voice actors as best they could so people wouldn't be too mad about the change, which sounded alright at first. It wasn't bad by any means, but as time grew by, they developed their voices to sound a lot more unique, such as Vegeta having his gruffy voice, as you will see from like the remastered Saiyan Saga voices. You know that voice before Chris Sabat decided to modify it once again for Dragon Ball Z Kai. The dub was also brought in a new composer for the series, Bruce Faulkner, in which, in his words of an interview with Black Fist, he was just called up by Gen Fukunaga and wanted to see it, and he wanted to see the show before accepting the job, as he liked it, so he accepted the job and did the music for the rest of the series. This new music was pretty much loved by fans because of the distinct themes such as Perfect Cell and Super Saiyan 3 for certain moments to emphasize like really big moments in the series. Nothing too much to say about this dub that we didn't know too much about. But after the series was done, Funimation soon dubbed Dragon Ball GT as well, which used all the same voice actors from Dragon Ball Z. Meanwhile, during this time, they were also dubbing Dragon Ball Z movies as well for television broadcasts on Toonami, and there wasn't a particular order it was in. Dragon Ball GT wasn't as popular as Dragon Ball Z by a long shot, but on average, it was considered good in North America. Dragon Ball GT did not rehire Bruce Faulkner to produce music for the series, so they used the composer who made exclusive music from movies named Mark Menza. This music had mixed reviews, as many people did not like the lack of variety in musical tracks, as many times the same song was used many times throughout the series. Soon after that, Dragon Ball GT ended. The original Dragon Ball was then dubbed and premiered on Toonami. This series did have some changes to cast, but many of them were not too noticeable. This time the series featured the original Japanese voice actors, although some insert songs were taken out by Toei Animation by not giving the rights to those. The US version of Dragon Ball, which when it was broadcast had a lot of censorship in it. A lot of them being aesthetic changes and a lot of them being script changes, which was very unexpected. Many people did not like these changes as it was the only way Funimation can get it on TV, but when it was at a home video release, none of the edits were there. Later on in 2007, all three series were released in season packs on DVD, which people refer them as the blue, orange, and green bricks, blue being Dragon Ball, orange being Dragon Ball Z, and green being Dragon Ball GT. Since Funimation in-house studio did not dub the first 67 episodes of the series due to the Ocean Group, they redubbed all the episodes with their current cast at the time. That is why when you watch the series straight through in English, you can clearly hear a difference in quality of voice acting from the Saiyan Saga Remastered to the later half of the Namek Saga when they first took over.
I'll have you know I was trained in the art of Kaioken!
Kaioken!
If I were you, I'd get out of here!
Don't be a fool, Kakarot!
Not too long after that, in 2009, Funimation acquired rights to Dragon Ball Z Kai, which aired on Nicktoons. The series is shortened up version to match up with the manga more. It featured many different changes to the series, such as noticeable changes in casting and music having the original Japanese OST. Dragon Ball Z Kai did not get many positive reviews by fans who have already seen the uncut version at this point and did not like more of the censorship that was put on the series and did not like and more changes to very iconic characters such as Gohan and Frieza. Dragon Ball Z Kai only went up to the Cell games due to Toei Animation not having the Buu Saga on hiatus, which at this time Funimation has given no news to Buu Saga of Kai, and after that, a little bit after Battle of Gods premiere, it was then the uncut version is being on Toonami and home releases of Dragon Ball Kai are there. And speaking of Battle of Gods, Funimation acquired the movie rights back in the later half of 2013. I don't know specifically, but I know it was 2013 for sure, and released a theatrical dub of Battle of Gods on August 5th, 2014, which I showed up there for the limited time release. Now in 2015, Funimation acquired rights to the new movie, which in Japan is called Fukatsu no F, translated to Revival of F, but it was then changed for the English dub to Resurrection F, for more than likely due to Toei Animation's recent international stuff with changing stuff right there. So now Resurrection F is due to premiere in North America August 4th. So that is pretty much all the history of the English dub of Dragon Ball you need to know. So I hope this video was pretty helpful and you learned something from this video. And make sure you leave a like on this video to show your support, and make sure to subscribe to become part of the Super Saiyan Army today and for all things Dragon Ball, including news updates, discussions, and a lot more than that. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you all later.